Alright, we're going live. Here we are. Welcome everybody. Hello. I am here with Jonas Tyroller, the one and only Jonas Godonas. And we're making a game for Ludum Dare 52. The theme of the jam is Harvest this time. Hello Koze, hello Joe Trocken. And Harvest, yeah, so we had thought this time we wanted to make something kind of as minimal as we could. And we thought, like, what if you just have fruits, like you just have one type of crop and you just need to feed people. Like you just drag your crops, your fruit from the field onto the people, and then they're not hungry, and you're just trying to keep them from starving. It got a little bit more complex as we were in ideation, but that's the gist of it. You're just trying to keep everyone alive and trying to manage your amount of crops versus the amount of people who are there, and yeah, keep people from starving while still keeping your crops growing, because if you like your crops also need to reproduce, so you can't just give everything out to everyone and expect to still have crops in the next round. You have to kind of see, like, okay, I still need to keep some crops around so that I then can still feed people next round. And people keep coming back every 5 years, and they also age, and like they start as children and then they turn into adults, and later on they're like elders, and in their different life phases they have different kinds of chances to survive if you don't feed them, as well as chances to survive if you do feed them. And if they survive, they come back next time, and if they don't survive, well, they're dead and a gravestone appears. And you're trying to keep them from dying and trying to keep your crops up at the same time. And additionally, 2 adults who are fed this round can produce a new baby next round that then comes up, and you have 1 more mouth to feed, but also a higher chance for a higher score, because, well, more people alive means a higher score in the end. You are 10 years old. Yeah, that's just the default text. This changes every 5 years also. It's basically your age. And yeah, so in the beginning you're not 10 years old, you're 20 years old. That's just the default text. And it lasts for 10 rounds, 5-year steps. So you start at 20 years and you end up at 70 years. You can hear the feature creep. It's not that bad, it's not that bad. We're honestly at a pretty good level, I would say. We have the game loop fully complete. We're just polishing at this point. Sound design still needs to be implemented and made as well. Like, sound design is still like a missing feature, and music, I think, is what you're working on right now, Jonas, right?
Yes. I made some music and implementing it right now. Unfortunately, I'm a little sick, so I'm not gonna go super long today. I'm just gonna implement the music real quick, and then perhaps I'll watch a little bit of Jens stream to end of the day.
Yeah, that sounds just as well. Yeah, I hope it doesn't end up being all too bad for you in the end with the illness.
Yeah, no,
you
no
get well
worries.
soon.
I mean, I've been sick for like 2 weeks. Has to get better at some point.
Oh, it's already okay. I didn't know that was so long. Is there a submission period? Submission up until Monday, tomorrow evening. And here in my time zone, it's evening right now. So we have about 24 hours to finish. Look at the little Yan hiding in the file explorer. Oh yeah, those were placeholder images that Jonas used in the beginning for prototyping. All the people were Yans and all the fruits were Jonas's, and you were feeding the Jonas's to the Yans. It was crazy. What if you die because of age? If you die because of age, Well, if people die because of age, then they also get a gravestone. But if they were well fed while they were dying, then they die of age, and you actually get bonus points for that because you managed to keep someone surviving until the end of their lives. You don't die. You, as a person, as a farmer, don't die. What if you get to like 200 years old? No. You end up at 70 years, and then the game kind of just finishes and gives you a score. Everybody loves graves, of course, especially grave diggers. Hope you get better soon, Jonas. Yep. Sick all winter most of the time. I'm very sorry. Yeah, okay. Farmers don't die. Good to know. Yes, farmers are unable to die indeed. Okay, I'm just gonna hit play here and show you a round of what this game plays like. So far, I mean, we're gonna change things a bit and so on, but yeah, you see, like, there's some grass grown as well now, and we're gonna just
Let's see if you
maximize
can
this.
get a new high score. Woo!
Oh yeah, let's see. Okay, so as I said, I have my fruits here, I have my people here, and when I hover over them, you can kind of see, like, okay, they have a survival chance, and it's different from person to person based on how old they are. So here for Putian, we can see that the survival chance is only 10% because it's already a very old person with 87 years. Tony here is also pretty old, but when we look at, for example, Mip, who's at their prime, kind of like, even if I don't feed Mip, Mip is probably going to survive. So, hey Putty, welcome. You like how they blend in with the grass? Yeah, that's because everywhere there's grass all around, and I wrote a little script that makes them render in front of each other based on the Y position. Are you randomly generating the names of the characters from a list of names? From a list of names, yeah. By the way, that's a good point. If any of you have some cool gender-neutral names, can also be fantasy names or whatever, really, like, if you have some cool names, let me know in chat and I will put in names that I like. Currently I have about 100 names, but you can always have more. It's nicer if you have more. So yeah, if you have some ideas, let me know and maybe I'll implement yours. Audrey? Sure. That's gender neutral. Men can also be named Audrey. I only know women who are named Audrey. Okay, so but for now, let's just play around to see how this plays out. I'm giving the elders fruit as well, even though they cannot like reproduce anymore and so on. But since that gives you points at the end, if you let someone survive until the end, I'm giving them food. Here we go for Kaya as well, so I'm giving all the elders food for now. Yeah, and then I think I will also feed Shea here, because Shea is still quite young and really needs the food. And Fuzzle, because Fuzzle is a bit old, I'll give it to Fuzzle as well, so Fuzzle survives. And we'll advance for 5 years. Gobafruit replicates itself, and now we can see it replicating here. Yeah, so one of them replicated. And okay, so our 2 elders here died, which of course is tragic, but gives us bonus points in the end. And you see here's like some programmer art. Currently working on a replacement for those. Don't feed Mip, they don't deserve it. I mean, yeah, Mip can survive on their own, right? Like, Mip doesn't need my support right now. You thought it was the other way around, that more Audreys were male? Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign for gender neutrality. You like the graphics? Thank you, thank you. Happy you like them. I've mostly been doing the art. I've been doing a little bit of coding as well. Okay, so next up we have Ari is kind of low. Okay, Senji, we definitely need to feed Senji. Yeah, Kaya should also get some food. For now, I'm not trying to feed too many people though, because I am hoping to get some more food replicating. Of course, death is tragic, but at least it gives me bonus points. Exactly. But only if they die of old age. Don't let people starve to death. That's bad. What about custom death messages if you hover over the graves? I want to do something if you hover over the graves where it just like tells you their names again and maybe what they died of. But also the graves will be custom based on whether they died of starvation or old age. Maybe custom messages later as a stretch goal. But for now I'll just keep it at this. Oh yeah, and I see like the name for the graves. That name tag still needs to be updated to the new visuals. No, Fuzzle. Yeah, Fuzzle died. It's tragic, but Fuzzle died happy. See, right now they're already having different icons for the graves. And everyone who died happy so far because they were fed until the end of their lives. Hey there peeps, is part of the same Kingdom but not Kingdom game you were working on the past few months? I think that's a question for you, Jonas.
Oh, what was the question?
Is this part of the same Kingdom but not Kingdom game you were working on for the past few months?
I don't think so. I think it's a different universe because I'm not aware of any Gobafruit in Thronefall.
Oh yeah, these are the Gobafruit.
In Thronefall you have normal cornfields.
Yeah, Thronefall is so normal.
So normal.
Everything's just normal about Thronefall. Okay, and we're gonna feed Ari here as well. And Luca, because Luca is already getting a little bit old. Here you go, have your Gobafruit. And now theoretically Ari and Luca could create a child. Bit old for that maybe, but still young enough in this universe to create children. The local grave markers hate starving children. Starving children are no good. So the graves with flowers is the old age? No, flowers are just because it's recent. Fuzzle died in the last 5 years, so people are still thinking of Fuzzle and giving flowers to the grave. And the longer graves are old. That's a really bad way of saying it. But like the older the graves are, the more neglected they become until at some point they're just a bunch of rubble. And the happy icon here is when they die of old age. This like smiley face. But I'm going to change it to some different iconography, but basically that's the idea. we need Will You Snail too, Jonas, says Gaker19.
People are already working on weird stuff for that. But not me.
Yeah, unofficial Will You Snail too. Is this your jam game? This is our jam game, yes. Imagine just getting a smiley on your grave. Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird, but we're changing that anyway. Like, I can show you quickly what my concept for the sad grave looks like right now. So this is for the starvation grave. Here, with like a person relief on there who's like holding their belly. Kind of, yeah. It's a sad grave, and I'll make a different kind of relief on the happy grave. Maybe of a Gobafruit, I was thinking. Because it's a Gobafruit enjoyer who sadly died. Great graphics as always.
Maybe it should be a person holding a Gobafruit or something. Cause
that would be really cool, yeah. That's a really good idea. I like that.
Because otherwise it feels like, yeah, there.
Here lies a Gobafruit.
Just buried a Gobafruit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so this is Ari. Okay, and that's also a better parallel to what we have right now, where it's a person who is starving. That's good. I like it. So now you can see like these graves are already getting a little bit more neglected. And you can also see I'm already 35 years old in the game right now. Let's see. Okay, no one else died. Ooh, we get like gloomy visuals now because we don't have quite so many fruits and we will not be able to feed everyone. Because our harvest hasn't been going that well. But it's okay, we can just feed Mattis and Kaya here. And wish the rest good luck. Let's see. This is called Gobafruit in the tutorial still, by the way.
Again. Yeah.
Jonas, we need to call it Gobafruit in the tutorial. I just noticed it's called Bobafruit in the tutorial messages.
Oh.
Okay, but nobody died. It's fine. I mean, would be okay if Kaya could die at some point, because Kaya is always just eating and not giving me anything.
Give me those juicy 2 points for the end.
Yes, please. Kaya, can you die? No offense to anyone named Kaya. It's just like this specific Kaya is old enough, you know. It's fine. It's fine if old people die. Oh my god, I'm gonna say so many regrettable things this stream. Okay, we're just feeding the old people at this point, hoping that Mattis doesn't die. Bit young, but I really need more Gobafruit. It's all gloomy. I'm so evil. I'm sorry. Oh no, oh Shea died. Ah, that's so tragic. 12-year-old dead. That's... Yikes! Okay, that's really unintended, but Kaya's dead, so there's also good news. Okay, we're gonna give some food to Ari, to... Mattis doesn't need food. We're gonna give it to Luca as well. And maybe Mip. Mip at this point is actually kind of old, so...
There's a good question on stream. Yeah, what do fat people give you?
Fat people, first of all, they have a higher chance of surviving. So, like these people who are fed, I increased their chance of surviving until the next 5 years. And since dead people give you negative points, you want to avoid dead people. However, if fed people survive, like until they're old enough to die of old age, while you feed them, so if you feed someone who then dies, for example, if Luca right now dies, then they give you 2 bonus points at the end, and everyone who is alive at the very end also gives you 1 bonus point. So that's the scoring system. Do any of the graves say good riddance? I mean, we could do that later on. Maybe have some special messages on the graves, but I cannot promise anything because that sounds kind of like nice to have. Maybe tomorrow if we have the time still. Should add an endless mode just for fun, since that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I think this game is not strategically interesting enough to warrant an endless mode.
But that's also... It's also a stretch goal. Like, I also like that it's kind of finishing when you're 70 years, because it feels like a positive way to end it, rather than it always ending with everybody dead or you not having fruit anymore. I think it's nicer if it finishes and then you see your score. It's just a better feeling, I think. Okay, we got 2 of them, 3 of them replicating. Oh no, we have Mattis dying. Ah, Mattis was way too young to die. Ari, however, that's fine. Okay, at this point we have enough fruit to feed everyone, so let's just kind of do that, because there are only 3 people left. Can fruits reproduce if you fed them all? No. If you fed all the fruits, you get a game over right now. Here we have Pike. So we still have 2 people who can potentially reproduce, though, like, don't ask me about the incest questions and so on of this, like, just don't ask about it. Just don't think about that, okay? I just made you think of this. But yeah, that's... All right. Next round. Let's see. Okay, Mip and Luca died, but we still have these people, parent and child. Let's just keep them alive. FJB says, "Oh hey, it's been a long time since I watched a Yan stream." Well, I'm glad you're watching one now. Putty, no, it's not Wincest. Dramatic music as soon as he starts talking about incest. Parent and child ready to reproduce. Yes, don't think about it. Okay, at this point, okay, I'm gonna pause here so we can see the stats. I think that's still auto advances, right, Jonas?
What auto advances?
The end screen. There's no, like, advancing button? Or is there something now?
No, it just stays there forever until you press R.
Oh, okay, so you need to still implement a UI button for that then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, your farm is now passed to the next generation, your job here is done. 2 people alive, give me 2 points. Yeah, that was kind of not a lot of people, but we had a lot of people dying from old age. 7. That gives us 14 points, because those give you 2 bonus points per person. And then people dying of hunger cancels out the people alive. So at the end of the day, we have 14 points in total. And it says you're a good farmer. I'm a good farmer, even though only 2 people lived at the end. But you know, it's kind of not having that much fruit to feed everyone and create so much offspring all the time. But that's fine, you know. It says I'm a good farmer, so I am a good farmer. Alright, and yeah, and then you can press R and restart right now. Yeah. So it just starts with the same setup as before, but then, you know, the randomness and so on makes every playthrough a little bit unique, because people are named differently and people also have different chances of generating offspring, so you get different people all the time. And of course you can change your strategy, and also people randomly survive longer or shorter. So yeah, so that's the game we're making, and I wanna create some more gravestone graphics now. So the first thing I wanted to do is, for this grave here, add some kind of like flower bouquet. I caused this. Darn hungry people. Yeah. What are they thinking, just being hungry? Would it ever say that you are not a good farmer? I think that's a question for you, Jonas, since you implemented this system.
Yeah, it says different things depending on how many points you get.
I don't know what all it says, because Jonas wrote these things, but yeah, it says different things. Can you make the text for a low score something like, "You should have chosen another job"? I mean, I don't know what it says right now, but something funny, maybe?
If you feel like it, you can just go into the game manager and scroll down to... where is it? It's gotta be somewhere in the game manager.
Yeah, that's...
here, it's called Possible Verdicts. It's a list and you have to open it up.
Oh, it's collapsed right now? Okay, possible
yeah, it's
verdicts.
collapsed. It's in end results. Possible verdicts.
Come on.
And then you can choose point thresholds and what it should say.
Oh, you mean in the inspector?
Yeah, of course.
I thought it was hard-coded like the other text.
No.
No, it's of course a better way of doing it.
Because I already anticipated that we might want to change that.
Yeah. So if you have below 10, how do you even do that? Minus 10, exactly. That's seriously messed up, bro. Maybe we can find a gender neutral...
Yeah, feel free to. Yeah, feel free to.
0 is meh, could be better, could be worse. 5 is a net positive, good result. 10 is you're a good farmer, well done. Above 15 is fantastic work, a result to be proud of. Okay. Jonas, funny English.
Brow.
Okay, and then 20 your skills are impassiable. I think that's supposed to be impeccable.
See, great that we have you for fixing all of my typos.
No worries. Still, oh, speaking of typos, I might as well change Bobafruit to Gobafruit if you haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Do that.
That's in the game manager as well, or is that also a list? Tip circulation, yes, here. Yeah, okay. Gobafruit. Alright, let's read up on chat again. This is probably a good time to say thank you to you too. You guys inspired me for my games and my life. I'm actually a game artist student now, and it's fun. Hey, that's really great, FJB. I'm happy that we were inspirational to you.
Happy to hear that.
Yep. And I hope you will be a successful and happy game artist. Alex Ney says, interesting game, not gonna lie, it needs more sauce to keep it interesting. Maybe have unfed people rebel against your crop somehow.
Yeah, we intentionally tried to keep it very simple.
Yeah,
but in general, we agree with your opinion that it's probably a little much on the too simple to be really interesting side. But also, we just want to make sure we can finish something.
Yeah.
In Jonas' sick state and Yen not wanting to continue after Gem state.
Yeah. I definitely don't want to make a post-Gem version for this because I have too many projects. And the yeah, and I think also if we have a few more visuals, a little bit more juicy sounds and so on, it's already going to feel better. At least that's what I hope.
Yeah, also another thing to keep in mind is that Game Jam games are usually not played for very long, so some can play one playthrough, takes like 5 minutes and then move on to the next game.
I hope that it's at least interesting enough for the short duration of one playthrough.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that I've also been talking a lot while playing, so a normal playthrough should be a bit shorter. And it's aimed at being a short game as well. That being said, I feel like there's already a little bit of strategic depth to which fruit you're taking out and who to feed. It's already something. I think it's enough for like 1 or 2 playthroughs, and that's really what we were aiming for. Change it to Bobafruit. Boobafruit. Oh, putty. And make it look like Booba on the thumbnail. You just want us to get views. Sorry, I don't know what my brain does. Not again, Putty. Now that you're reading, is Goka in the name list? No, that is a good idea. Thank you. I'm gonna add Goka. Goka. Also, you're missing more colors. Looks kind of dull at a quick glance. Really, also when I'm playing? Because look at what it looks like when I'm playing. Here we have some greens. We have the people with blue heads. Is this still too colorless for you? Let me know. Joe Trocken also has some ideas, but knows that we want to keep it simple. Maybe have some simpler. Maybe we have some simpler ideas or visual ideas. Yeah.
I mean, one simple idea I had was having some story-based events between rounds where you have to take a decision. For example, new people coming to your village and you have to say if you wanna allow them in or not. Something like that could be easy to make. But yeah, we'll see if we have time for that. Or all of the, I don't know, some disease caused some of your Gobafruit to die.
Oh, that's a mean one. Yeah, some events like that would...
Yeah, or maybe you get a really good harvest as well sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe rain period or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like events where you can take a decision would also be interesting. Yeah, but no, let's polish this before we add anything else.
Grass on the ground. I don't know if I can fit green into this color palette nicely. I can see what I can do about it.
I mean, if you add green, it would probably pop quite a lot.
Yeah, so if it's just a background element, that's a problem. You see? Like if I have just some random non-interactive element being green, that's also a problem. Maybe I can make some of the UI elements that I haven't touched yet green. Maybe I can add some green to the flowers on graves. Something like that.
Okie dokie. I think the music is more or less in.
Oh, nice. Okay, we can have a quick listen to that.
I've not committed it yet. I'm just thinking about when to play the tense music and when to play the tragic music. And what I'm doing right now is if you have more than 2 or more hunger deaths, I play the tragic music. And what is the requirement for the intense one? Yeah, you don't have enough food.
Yeah, that's like the doom and gloom visuals are aligning with that pretty much.
Yeah.
Alex says, POV of me witnessing how Jan and Jonas are slowly adding few more months to the dev time. Yeah, that's definitely what we want to avoid. So no, we're not doing that this time. So we really aim to just finish it up during the jam period this time and not have any additional work on the game build afterwards, because we have no time for that.
One interesting thing that can happen now is you can also have the god race and still have the tragic music. If you have a lot of fruit but a lot of people died.
Yeah.
It works kind of well actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna commit so you can see.
Okay. Let's listen to Jonas' music. Jonas made the music this time. I'm really curious how it feels in-game. There's kind of a music system where it fades in different moods depending on what's happened. I'll commit my changes and pull.
Alright, yeah, I committed. Check it out.
Pull. Let's see here. Oh, we have some merge conflicts. Let's see what we can do about that. The game manager prefab because I changed something.
What did you change?
Yeah, I changed typos. I fixed stuff.
Ah, okay.
It's really just Doom. Okay, on the left side it seems like there's just more stuff with like volume, fade, speed, and so on. That's your new
no,
stuff.
not a problem. You just gotta link the audio sources again. Just take yours and then link the.
No, actually, it's fine. It's fine. I can use yours.
Okay.
I have this commit resolver open here, and it's fine. I don't know why it didn't auto-merge this. I mean, like, this is pretty simple to merge. Okay, and then I'll commit that, fix that merge, and then also push my changes. So you also have the typo fixes. Okay, and now we're gonna play. Let's see. Maybe it would look exciting if for the different years get random weather, like more or less windy, sunny, foggy rain, some color tint, shader magic. Only easy and fast things though. Yeah, rain particle effect could be easy.
Or maybe the rain should just be part of the Doom look.
Perhaps. Okay, so here we have the neutral music right now, because nothing has happened so far yet. So we're gonna feed a few people here. I'm going to try to not play the optimal way. Just to get a few different things. I'll let lots of people reproduce. And perhaps some people will die. Let's see. Oh yeah, people died. Oh yeah, 3 people died. We have the tragic music now.
What did you do? Yeah, no.
I let them die. I let them all die. They had to die, Jonas. There was no other way. Alright, we're gonna feed a lot of fruits to all the people now, and then not have enough next time to get the tense music. I was wondering if maybe it should fade in a little bit later, because right now you can tell by the music what's happening before you see what's happening, and I feel like that's a little bit out of sync.
Yeah, we can definitely fade that in later. True.
Okay. And I think if it works, it could also have a little bit of a longer transition between the fades, in my opinion.
So just longer transitions.
Yeah, longer transitions and a little bit later. Like half a second later and then half a second longer transition. I think that's the sweet spot. Okay. Okay, yeah, now we have the tragic thing, but also the sunny thing. Because lots of people died. Look at this graveyard. I'm playing really bad right now. But next round, it won't be tragic anymore because no one will die this round. And then we get the happy music. Yeah, I think that works rather nicely.
Transitions quite nicely.
And it always fits the mood. Let's advance. And now we have this kind of, again, like where it's neutral again. One person died, we need 2 people to die to have the sad music.
One people dying is not tragic enough, no.
Yeah, just one person. Okay, now it's tense again because we have 4 people and...
Is there even a singular form of people?
Person.
Person, yeah.
That's literally the name of the script, Jonas. Yeah. Oh, it's still tense because all the people survived. Yeah. Oh, we're not gonna be able to feed everyone now. I'm just gonna feed Cammy.
Yeah, you basically have enough fruit to just feed one person.
Yeah. Okay, one person died again. It is so sad. Yeah, these fruits are also at the edge of the field, so they're really not in an optimal position to procreate. I cannot feed anyone. I'm just gonna have to die. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I'm 70 years old and I can only feed one person. Okay, yeah, that's my... that's seriously messed up, bro.
That's your legacy. Oh yeah. New negative high score.
No, I had something lower before, but
Okay.
it's still very, very bad. I'm a terrible farmer. Oh yeah, the one people thing is not so good. That needs to be changed for sure. To one person when it's just a single one in the end screen.
Oh yeah. That's an oopsie.
Okay. Yeah, that's seriously messed up. We messed up, but of course we messed up on purpose. If we didn't try to mess up, we wouldn't. Okay, so let's read up chat a little bit.
Is this like the fish RPG but farming?
I don't think it has anything in common.
Not really, no.
I mean, the fishing RPG also has sad death, but that's about it.
True.
When did Ludum Dare begin? This weekend, on Friday. Okay, let's read some stuff. How does the reproducing system even work? I'm guessing it took some debugging because while a 2-year-old being able to reproduce sounds funny, it would probably break immersion. Yeah, no, we just have different age groups. And then if two people, it's a fairly simple function. I can show it to you. The person script here. It's just humans reproduce here. Then we say, okay, we have all the people, right? All persons here. And then we say if they're above old age or equal to old, like if they're above adult age or equal to adult age, which is 18. And also below the elder age, which is 62 right now. And they have been fed. They are being added to a list to an integer called humans in mingle age, which is a lovely variable name. Thank you, Jonas. I love that. And then if we have more than 2 humans in mingle age, then they have a random baby chance. And if that is met, then they spawn a human baby. And then those 2 humans in mingle age are taken away from the integer. And then we go through it again and we basically see, are there still enough humans in mingle age? And if so, then we give it a roll again, basically. So that's how that works. Putty says, love the music. Yeah, the music's great. Music made by Jonas this time, not me.
With valuable feedback from you though, so.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the first iteration wasn't quite there yet, but this is great. Having a question for both Jan and Jonas. Feel free to skip it. I'm already reading it. No skipping it now. Where do you see this game dev quest taking you in 5 years from now? Small gaming company or keeping it pure indie and so on? I'll give it to you.
That's a very good question. I'm sort of experimenting with both, kind of dipping my toes into both. Like, for example, for Will You Snail, the team is sort of naturally expanding at the moment a little bit because we have missing texture man helping with the level editor a little bit, and I also hired a community manager to take care of the Discord server because that was a little too much for me to handle alone. But then, in a way, I'm also realizing that this added complexity, it comes with advantages and disadvantages. So I'll have to see. I really like keeping things simple and clean, and sometimes I just want to make games all day and not worry about managing people or answering emails or doing taxes. So the simpler you keep everything, the better for having time to focus on what you actually want to do. But then, of course, having people help you out a little bit is fun as well. So not entirely sure where it's gonna go yet. I guess we'll have to wait and see. And my goal is probably to find some sort of healthy middle ground between the two, I guess. What about you, Ian?
Yeah, so
What
I
are your
am
plans?
working a day job at a company right now, and in 5 years I would love it if I would be able to save up enough money to go indie dev for a while. So I'm not sure if it's 5 years or 2 years or something like that, but I would like to try this thing that Jonas is doing already for a while. And
And
just do indie game.
like, what would you say? How much is enough? Like funds for like 3 years or something like that? Oh,
No, I'm trying to play it safe and
okay,
say more like funds for 6 years.
okay, yeah, yeah.
So comes out at roughly 100,000. Maybe that's more like 5 years,
Okay,
but like that's kind of the amount that I'm hoping to save before I go full indie for a while, and then see if anything sticks. And if nothing sticks, then I still have enough time to get a job again, basically. So I'm trying to go the lowest risk route that you can go with this crazy idea of doing indie games as your job.
I mean, the way I know you, you probably don't want to make games alone, though, right? That's
Yeah, but
not
at the same
something
time,
I-
I really don't want to hire anyone.
Yeah.
I would like it if other people who are self-financed could join me in my quest. But other than that, if that's not going to be possible, I wouldn't start hiring people because then the money
Yeah,
is
yeah, of
gone so
course, yeah.
fast again,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have it sustainable yet. So I think that would be way too high risk.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you'd, if possible, try to team up with somebody.
Yeah, if not possible,
Yeah.
I would still do it alone. But we'll see where Glitchion is gonna go and so on. Like, I'm not sure how long this is going to take and how well it's going to do when it finally releases at some point. So
I mean, where is Glitchion at the moment?
at the moment, it's in a state of production, I would say. So it's no longer just pre-production. But we're still figuring out some pre-production questions, like some stuff about planning the map layout and stuff about proper story and so on, like all the story events and so on. Like those things are still ongoing. We haven't figured those out yet. And then besides that, we're already actually building the world though. And I am making concept art and assets and so on. So that's kind of what's going on in Glitchion right now. I would say it's nowhere near release. That's for sure. It still needs a lot of time, I think. So we're not going to have a release this year, and next year only if everything goes super well.
Yeah, that sounds like it's gonna take you a little while longer, especially considering you're not like spending a super huge amount of time on it, right? Just a couple of hours every week.
That is the big problem that we have, and that is that we just don't have the time to commit enough hours to the development. I mean, River recently became a dad. That, of course, rightfully so, takes a lot of time out of your day. And then he, of course, has a full-time job. I have a full-time job. Barnacle is studying game design. So everybody is already busy. So Glitchion is kind of already an extra in a way. And of course, you cannot finish it that fast when it's just a side thing in a way. Like, it's my main project that I'm doing in my free time, but it's a project that I'm doing in my free time. And I have side projects that I'm doing in my free time. That's why I mean, like, I don't want to add more to it. So this really gotta get done within the jam time. Like, it's a bit much.
I'm a little envious of Paul, who has figured out like these really short cycles or development cycles for his game.
Hey,
Like,
but you're working together with Paul now, so
yeah, true. I'm getting a slice of that pie for sure.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll launch Thronefall this week. That not this week. That
this
would
week,
truly be
this
that
week,
would truly
everybody,
be
you heard it
incredible.
here first.
But even this year would already be incredible if we can pull that off. That would be
Yeah, you
hype.
were talking about like perhaps doing early access or something, right?
Mm.
But you're not sure about that?
We're aiming for this year for sure.
Oh yeah, and early access, that gonna be a thing that's happening, or
yeah, we're kind of leaning towards early access because Paul is like, he doesn't want to make like tons and tons of content if nobody's interested in playing the game.
Yeah, that makes
So
a lot
we're
of sense.
feeling like from a pure business side, it would make sense to try out if people actually like it and if it works as a product before we make tons of content.
Yeah.
And what I really find important about early access games, though, is that you follow you only pay for the content that's there and not for future promises policy. So let's, for example, say we launch with 3 levels, then obviously you only pay for 3 levels and not for any made up future promises that we don't know we're going to keep yet.
So basically the game is going to be cheaper and more expensive as it goes on. Is that the idea?
Yeah, that would be the idea. That
So early adapters also get a better deal because they still get the future content.
Yeah, but the idea would precisely be not to make the price based off of any future promises, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So whenever you buy it, you basically always get a fair deal.
Yeah.
But also, we're not 100% set on early access yet, so we'll have to see. Because obviously you could just do a regular launch and then still do updates after release, so... Not sure yet, we'll see. Very fascinating to watch you draw stuff with your mouse.
Yep, that's what I'm used to. What can I say? How do you like the grave?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm not sure if that was a little too much purple you added there at the end, but yeah,
I can always reduce it. You mean like here?
No, on the flowers. Yeah, maybe that was a little too much.
Okay, I can reduce it a little bit.
But I'm nitpicking here.
That's no problem. Because it's easy to change because I have a mask for it. I'm just gonna go here. Maybe where this is. Like this. It was just still supposed to be blended a bit with the darker gravestone, but I think,
that works.
Okay, so that is just one state of the grave. The next state would simply with basically these things removed. Like it would just be this. That's the next state, and then we need a state where the grave is kind of messed up, and then one final one where it's just a bunch of rubble on the floor. So I will duplicate this grave here and move it over here, and then I'll make a somewhat messed up version of it. So
bye, unknown. See you in a bit, maybe.
Alright, see you. Glad you came by. Thanks. Alex said, I forgot you were also drawing with a mouse here and so squat. Thank you. But it's literally just what you practice. I can also draw with actual pencils and brushes and so on, like traditionally. But with a tablet, I'm just no good. Except if I see what I'm drawing onto the screen, then it's fine. But since those tablets tend to be really expensive, I just never bought one. Maybe I'd buy one if they were a bit cheaper, but it's just at the asking price, it doesn't seem to be worth it for me.
Is drawing still a skill worth learning? Serious question.
Oh, because of AI art, you mean?
Yeah.
At the moment, I think it's definitely still a skill worth learning because of multiple reasons. One is that I think AI art is not at a state where you can just use all the things as final assets. You still kind of at least need to learn Photoshop as a skill to kind of piece things together. And like, if you want to go the AI route, then you still kind of need some expertise with like digital image editing software. And on the other end, it's worth it simply because it's really fun, right? Like
the thing I'm wondering about is mostly, what do you think will develop faster? If, let's say you start to learn drawing now.
Mm-hmm.
Will your drawing skills develop faster, or will AI develop faster? Yeah, I know there are all of these copyright claims. I see your messages in the chat. I'm aware. But still, AI is gonna move forward one way or another, right?
I think so.
Probably.
Personally, that doesn't bother me so much. I know that there's some stuff in these things, in these like data sets that I made. I even have some of my own works in there. But you know, oh well. It is what it is. Rather than complain about it, might as well use it, you know, when it's applicable. And it's not always useful. Like it's not the right tool for every job either. So I don't think that it's really about to replace artists or human artists.
No, I actually don't think so either. Because if you think about it, at the moment, most of the time when I use AI art, it's not like a real artist is missing out on a sale as a result of that, right? I wouldn't have paid a real artist to draw me a pink elephant riding a motorcycle or whatever.
Your product would just have been maybe a little less developed. Or you would have had taken more time to make it yourself.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't entirely made my mind up about this whole thing yet, but I'm currently working on a video about AI.
Yeah, I saw your
trying to do some
post.
research. Yeah.
Actually, did a reply to that as well.
Haven't seen that yet. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Let's have a chunk missing. Just wanna mess up this gravestone a bit.
Excellent. Yeah, that gap there works. Just paint some rock below it, then I think it'll look nice.
Just a little bit. I need opacity.
Yum.
So yeah, I personally, I think it would probably be better if eventually these services would all use only works that they have permission to use, like explicit permission. I mean, legally they already have permission because there's no law against scraping data from the internet. If you upload it, I mean, that's kind of...
Yeah, scraping, sure, but using it in an AI algorithm, is that really, like a gray zone they exploited there?
Yeah, it's legally there's no issue with it. It only started being an issue when artists complained about it.
Yeah.
Because it's just, you are just basically using it for, like, okay, so it's a research thing originally, right? It's the
that's also one thing people are upset about, that the data set was first created for research and now they're kind of commercializing it.
Yeah, they're using it for commercial purposes. That's why I also am a fan of Stable Diffusion, because I can just use it without paying anyone. You know, like, I don't have to give money to anyone for using Stable Diffusion.
Yeah, I guess so. But isn't that also one of the things, one of the problems? You don't pay anyone?
Wait, but I am an artist. I am not a company that sells the product of AI art. I'm just using it as part of my production process.
Mm.
I mean, sure, you could argue that I should also have paid the people who made stuff in the source. But how many people are you gonna pay? Like, are you going to pay people for 5 billion artworks?
Yeah, no,
Like,
probably not.
It's not gonna happen. And
Yeah.
I'm not really doing anyone a disservice by using it because, as you said, I wouldn't have paid another artist. I would just have done it myself without using the tech. So I personally don't feel any guilt when using Stable Diffusion. Most of the time I just use it for fun.
No, I mean, honestly, this entire witch hunting is completely pointless anyway, right? If people get upset because somebody uses a tool that's out there, that's silly. If anything, you should be pissed at the companies who made it or whatever. But like this moral witch hunting, I'm not a big fan of that either. Yeah, I'll try to see if for the video I'm making, I'll try to hopefully cover it somewhat respectfully.
Yeah,
so
you have to be
both
really
sides are
careful.
happy.
It's such a hot topic.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
a hot topic, I know. I think it's best if probably people just make up their own mind. Like, I don't want to force my opinion on anybody because I'm not sure if my opinions are right.
Yeah, that's
who knows?
Very fair.
Cozy has to vanish. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye, Cozy. It was nice having you here. AI art is a touchy subject. It's awesome, but used in all the wrong ways. Yeah, so what I don't like is when people lie about it. But the problem is, I think, people who are complaining... Oh, what's happened? Okay. People who are complaining about people using it in general, like who are just mad at anyone who uses AI art, are making people more likely to lie about it, if you think about it, because people still want to use it. Yeah, if it's such a condemned thing to use it, then you might just not want to mention it, right? So what you're doing with that, in a way, is you're making yourself not know that people have been using it, or that companies have been using it as well.
I think what makes this entire conversation so complicated is that if you dig a little deeper, I feel like the conversation is almost more about how we want the future to look like. Like, it's almost sometimes more a discussion about what should the future be.
Yeah. Do
like,
we
regarding
even
all
want this
AI
sort of
stuff,
technology around?
Eventually AI is gonna come for all creative disciplines, and I mean, do we want that? Do we not want that? Like, that's kind of a real question behind all of that.
I think you're pretty spot on. Though I see a lot of, like, I think there is also a little bit more nuance to it in the way that I see a lot of people saying, like, okay, AI generally is fine, like technology tools are cool and so on, but being really unhappy about not consenting to it. You know, like if they think their work might be used or has been used.
I mean, especially if without consent something you created is used to replace you. That's, of course, that stings. That's like I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. But I guess it's your stream that is getting demonetized. But
It's
that's an
fine.
asshole move, right? Using their own work to replace their jobs. I totally get where they're coming from.
Yeah, yeah, that's.
But as mentioned, it's not at a state where it could replace their
Yeah,
job.
at the moment, I don't
the
think that's
future,
what's happening yet. But people are talking
Yeah.
about it as if that's already happening.
Yeah, but who knows how long it's gonna take.
Yeah, sure. I don't know that.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I can only speculate. But the thing is also, you can like if you make an atmosphere where it is it is not okay to make these tools and use them, you're going to create a situation where only where companies are going to just use it in secret because it's just too much of a benefit in the long run. Like, companies are not going to care about the morals so much that they will say like, oh yeah, people don't want us to use it, we will not use it at all, but they will care about their image, so they will just not tell you about it.
I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? Yeah, what you're saying, you can't forbid, you can't disallow what you can't police. A similar thing with the databases. If you say nobody's allowed to use copyrighted material in these databases anymore that are used to train AI, then people are just gonna do that in secret, and you're probably not gonna be able to figure it out.
Anyone at this point with the tech knowledge can create their own stable diffusion model, and they can use whatever images they please in there. Right.
Armaxton says, the music is too loud. Apparently, you have some music on your stream?
Yeah, I have a little bit of music. I can reduce it a little bit. Let me know if that's better.
Hello, hello, music.
I can hear you very clearly, like at least twice as loud as the music, but it's always a little bit hard from a streamer's perspective to tell whether the music is at an okay level or not. So thank you for notifying me. To me, the music right now seems very quiet.
I'm not listening to the stream, so I can't tell.
Yeah, it would be really weird if you listened because you would hear your voice twice.
Alex says, I worked in the past couple of years around crypto and NFT, no hate please. And a couple of small groups and companies discarded human workforce artists for AI. Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, if they're already in the crypto space, then you know, no hate to you, but you know, like it's likely that there's going to be some shady behavior.
Like, what would you do if at some point AI could do everything you can but better, and for example could make better games than you, could make better music than you? What would you do at that point? You personally?
Yeah, probably. So probably you're not necessarily as employable in the free job market anymore.
Yeah, but at that point I guess nobody is, so that's not the main concern I would have.
No, I think actually I personally think that AI is advancing faster than robots are, so I think manual labor still is going to last longer. However, I suck at that sort of labor. It's not my strong suit. I'm not completely terrible with those things, but I don't like them, and I'm no good in comparison to most other people, I think, or to more other people. So that is a problem for me, for sure. For work purposes, would probably try self-employment, because I think what AI is not going to replace is personalities. At least I hope so.
Hmm.
I don't think
I'm
that
not
people,
so sure, but
I don't think that
let's
people
hope
on
so,
the
yeah.
large scale will accept AI personalities so much that they don't value having human people anymore.
What if you can't tell the difference?
Sure, but then someone who is human can still also succeed in some kind of like content creator space, right?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just interesting to think about. But yeah, let's change the subject. We have some other interesting questions in the chat.
Oh yeah.
How do you find an art style for a game if you suck at drawing?
Inspiration from other medium. Ideally not from games, because then you're just replicating someone else's games. There's a lot of graphic art styles and so on that you can find online, and you can just try replicating that. But also, if you're really bad and... but the question was about finding an art style, right? Like, finding what you like to look at. But if you're really bad, of course... I think that looks messed up enough, right? As it
Yeah, that looks like a flock of birds had a lot of fun on that stone.
Yes, that's also kind of what I wanted to show with that. I'm gonna erase some of that earth here and then move on to the next one. So yeah, if you want to know about like how do I create art, I'm sure there's a video that Jonas made about that. And there are also other YouTube videos that you can look at. Basically, you pick something that is simple to make. But even so, I think it's still beneficial to learn some of the art fundamentals if you really want to create the art for yourself. Even if you have a simple style, you still need to have a good feel for what looks good, right? Like learn a few art fundamentals and those rules. Even if you just know the theory, it's going to help you out a great deal for making like artwork in simple styles as well.
Yeah, +1 for everything Jan said, and also one really undervalued tip I would give is that you should approach finding an art style the same way you approach finding a gameplay loop for your game. So the best way to find a good gameplay loop is of course prototyping, and you can also use prototyping to find a good art style. So instead of making gameplay prototypes where you try out different game mechanics, you can also make art prototypes. And the important thing about art prototypes is that they should not have any gameplay, because if you make a gameplay prototype and an art prototype at the same time, you're just making a game, and that's not very efficient. So make art prototypes and gameplay prototypes separately, and then if you're happy with both, then make the game. That's usually a good way to find an art style. Very nice, very nice.
That's a pretty good answer to that question, I think. Making prototypes and like trying out a few different things is undervalued when it comes to art. That being said, I personally most of the time just start. And then
I mean, you have
something.
some people have a very unique style by default. I feel like most of the stuff you draw has a very similar-ish style. So you just have a good go-to style that you can just fall back on. That makes any sense.
I don't even do it intentionally. It's not something that I notice. People tell me, but I don't know that. Okay, next. Next up is just the completely messed up gravestone, and then we're just going to make a version of this with different relief on here.
Armax, and if you struggle with drawing, there are literally so many other ways to create art. There's vector art, there's 3D,
Absolutely.
there's abstract stuff. You can like
You
can make
do
quite pretty games with abstract.
game art super well through mostly programming as well. With programming shaders and so on can get you a long way if you're more technically inclined. Now we're really gonna get a good chunk out of this boy. And the aim is to not have this relief visible anymore, so we just have to make one of these.
Is this the gravel one already? Where
Yeah.
there's basically just okay.
Yeah, right, that's with flowers, then just take the flower away, and then this guy here, and then just a stone where it's just a stone, basically.
I mean, I set it up in a way where you can basically add as many or as little phases as you want.
Okay, that's also cool. Wait, I'm painting. I thought I was erasing. But in the interest of time, and because I bet it's getting boring watching a whole live stream of me just painting graves, I'll leave it at this many variations. For now.
Alrighty, and I'll just leave you with that and keep watching a little bit of Yen live stream on my phone or something.
Alrighty.
Because I gotta make some new tea and get some sleep so I'm fresh for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Alright, then have a good night, Jonas.
You too. See you
Thank you for
tomorrow.
being
Take
here,
care.
and see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Hello, Cam, Ethan. You like pixel art for games, that's what you do. Sure. You suck at both vector and can't wrap your head around Blender. You'll find something. I'm not sure what that something's gonna be, but there are so many ways to make art. Maybe you just haven't found yours yet. And then Jirushi is encouraging Jonas to buy a goodbye. It's good advice. Pixel art is what most indie devs do specifically because they are bad at art. If you are bad at art, it's going to show in your pixel art though. Like, have you seen the art that some of the greatest pixel artists make? It's insane. It's so good. I don't think pixel art is just an easy way to make art. It can be incredibly difficult if you're really aiming for, you know, like the really strong pixel artworks. There's still some bits and pieces here and there. I guess if you find someone more advanced with art who would like to create the same thing, you could team up. I mean, that's always great. I love teamwork. If you can find someone who also wants to do the same thing as you, of course. There are a lot of artists who want to make games and are in need of a programmer. I mean, it depends on your skills, of course. If you also can't program and also can't do anything else, then I suggest to learn a skill. But I know that Armaxton you can program, so. Hello, Adam. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you here. Do you also stream on Twitch or only YouTube? I only stream on YouTube because this is where I have an audience and this is also a platform that I understand, whereas Twitch, I don't really get it. I'm not a Twitch user, I don't even have an account. The only reason why I watch Twitch sometimes is to watch some Trackmania streamers and that's it. But I'm sure it's a great platform for streaming, it's just not what I know. That's a bit too much. Want a little bit, yeah. Okay, maybe a little bit more towards this edge. You know what? I think that's fine already. Doesn't really need more. Oh, maybe one thing that it should have is a continuation of this crack here. The more detail you give art, the easier it is for the players to connect with video game characters. That's interesting. Wasn't there this game called Thomas Was Alone that a lot of people connect with quite deeply? And it has like this super simple, almost prototype-like art style. And also look at Undertale. Undertale, people connect with the characters super deeply, and it doesn't have like bad art, but it's pretty simple compared to a lot of other games. And not extremely detailed. It is good looking, of course. I mean, Temmie is a very good artist as well, but at the same time I feel like that's an example, like a counter example to your point. Like, it doesn't have to be a rule that in order for people to connect with your game in a meaningful way, you have to have complex, detailed artwork. I like complex, detailed artwork, but it's not a must. Okay, now we're done. Let's get these gravestones into the game, just so I do something else for a moment. So first off, I need to sort my layers a little bit. I've been doing a pretty bad job at keeping things in order here. Here we go. Personally do pixel art because I just find normal art very daunting, and the restriction of the pixels really helps. Hey, if it helps you, that's great. And pixel art can be so powerful. It's definitely a very valid art style, of course. Here we go, that needs to be there. Really was fun to catch up with you both. Been a long time. See you around. Good luck with the jam. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. See you. Bye-bye. I have a problem finding a team for Wowie Jam, but Glide and I got the team together. Yeah. And you made a pretty cool game. Trying to find something that fits the complexity. For music purposes, I may join another team. Cool. You join a team, but Godot doesn't have very good teamwork integration as far as you know. Isn't there something where you can just set up Git for it? And you suck at teamwork. Okay, well that's definitely a skill that is worth practicing, I think. Because you're gonna need to do teamwork in a job anyway, so might as well get better at it. Okay, I'm just gonna combine this into one, and then paste it in here so we can export. And on top of that, we can have a version, as I said earlier, without the flower stuff and so on. So just this. I guess this is still supposed to be on there. Maybe we can just make a variation of this that is a little bit faded. Kind of like this. Okay, and then we get all that in here as well. Undertale is detailed enough. Okay, I mean, that's fine then. I'm sure you can make Undertale level art if you just practice. Not sure what your art skills are at right now. All I have as a reference is like some rounds of Gartic Phone and so on. Unemployment, here I come. Why that? I thought you were also a coder. Because of the teamwork? No, it's something you can definitely practice. I mean, you're not completely socially awkward or anything. Like, you can talk to people normally, then you can also work with people if you just experience it a little bit more. Or you have to be self-employed and make something just by yourself solo, but at the end of the day you'll always have to deal with people in one way or another, so it's just something worth learning, and you can definitely learn it. If you want to get good at teamwork, start to think to yourself, how do yourself want to get treated? Yeah, sure, but that's like in any kind of social situation, right, Jodhocken? Okay, so brave, hunger. Jonas had some names for these. Let's just copy the naming conventions. Oh, I got a message. Okay, yeah, because Jonas left the call. Maybe this isn't the best place to have a conversation. I mean, you can write in Discord DMs if you want to. Hungy, yeah. Okay, well, I need to figure out what Jonas named his gravestones. Prototyping? Yeah, it's in the prototyping folder. Okay, it's grave sad or grave happy. Okay, I'm gonna call it that same thing then. Grave sad. And then it's he used underscores. I never do that, but okay. Grave sad 1, and then I'm gonna go through all of them. Okay, grave sad 01, grave sad 02. And next up we have this other final grave. No, it's not the final one. The final one is technically this one. Okay, there's definitely something in there that I didn't know was there. I didn't think that I had all this stuff. I must have painted again accidentally when I wanted to erase. That's not so great. Let's just get rid of some of that. And move it in place with the others. Let's just make it 1. Ah. Get rid of some of that. Yep. Fixing my mistakes. Okay. In any kind of situation, maybe add what you expect from others. What can you do yourself? Yeah, that's good advice. Again, applicable to many situations outside of work as well. It's generally good to develop social skills. You can say that maybe. And some people might be more prone to that than others, but I think it's something everybody can learn if they want to. Though of course there are some conditions you might have that make you more or less fit in that regard. Like you could have autism and then of course it's exceptionally more difficult. this seems to be about right. Let's export this finally. PNG. Grave saddle 3. And then finally we get this last one. And then I just have to make some different reliefs for the other one. Here again I have done terrible things. Ah, that is so annoying. Okay, I'll try to fix it. I think I might as well just reduce everything down to one layer at this point. I wish there was a faster workflow for exporting for me. That always takes so much time and feels so meh. Definitely didn't help that I made some mistakes. Okay, now I think we're good. Okay, I think this is the right positioning. Yep. And finally we have this grave. There is a PNG, and this is not grave sad, this is I think grave crumbles. Alright, let's get these things into the game. First of all, art, elements, then graves. See you, Fudge Cameron. Am I streaming again soon? Yeah, I might stream in January again, or maybe early February. Kinda wanna do another feedback stream where I review things that you, my dear viewers, made. So, if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel. Come to the Glitchy on Discord server. I announce it there beforehand, and then you can submit something. Amaxton says, I don't know, at this point I feel like I want to learn too many things at once, so I end up learning none. Yeah, you have to focus and pick your battles. Social skills to teach is hard. You mean social skills are a hard thing to teach? Doing too many things is a common thing, yeah. I mean, look at me, I have too many projects as well. I think I don't use my time efficiently enough, but also keep things slow, and I do... Okay. These look awesome, thank you so much, thanks. Feedback stream, yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to trying some stuff again that viewers made. Have a nice day, Fudge Cameron. Or should I say evening? Okay, anyway. Yeah, so the graves go in here. Got a message as well. Okay. Where do I... Here we go. Okay, got those graves in. Now to set the pivot points. Set them here. They should have a perfectly consistent pivot point because they're going to be replaced with each other. Let's just take the custom point from this and have it at this point for every one of them. So all of them, this one as well. Now they have a consistent pivot point. Alright, cool. And now I just have to replace them. I'm assuming that's either in people, in a person, or in the game manager. Let's see. Seems to be in the game manager. Okay, I don't see it right now. Where did Jonas put this? If it's not in the game manager, where would it be? I'm just going to search the code base for graves and hopefully I'll find it. It's in person indeed. I didn't look properly, I guess. Ah, it's a prefab. Oh, okay. So I just need to change it in the prefab somewhere. Alright. That makes a lot of sense. Grave. And then it has like a grave script as well. Okay. Since this doesn't have any children, you don't need to do this. But you can, it's fine. And then grave. Okay, and it gets these things to it as well. Alright, let's go into that prefab and change the graphic. Oh, yeah, my my sprites are a lot smaller than Jonas's sprites. I guess I'm just gonna use the default scale and then I need to scale down the canvas to compensate. This actually really... this is not great. It's not a prefab. I should make it a prefab, this name tag here. I'll do that later. Because then this also has this ugly ass speech bubble still from before. The name tag is huge. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff wrong with this. I'm going to make the canvas on the people a prefab. And then make a grave prefab variant for that one. But for now, I just want to change the gravestones. There has to be, yeah, okay, hunger death. Let's lock this inspector and drag them in. Elements, graves, rumbles, sad 1, sad 2, and sad 3. And now we're gonna let people die of hunger so we can see our new assets. It's necessary. Oh yeah, I should turn off my music. Okay. Well, well, well. Look who's going to die. A lot of people, apparently. It's fine. We can let some others survive. We have enough food now. See, it was all for the greater good. You have to die. Yes, they have to die. It's necessary. So yeah, these are all people who just died. Now next time we should get like... Hey, now see, everything's happy. It's all fine, look. I just did this for the future. But you know what? You're not getting any of the food. They survived anyway. See, apparently they don't need food, so it's fine. And these are the crumbled gravestones. Ooh, things are sad again. Who would have thought? Okay, you can eat again. You know what? I made up my mind. Here you go. Eat already. And now we have a bunch of completely crumbled gravestones here. Oh, yeah. Oh no. Oh my god. Let's just get rid of that one. Oh, that's quite funny. Yeah. How dare you die of old age? I wasn't prepared for that yet. You love it? Yeah, it was quite funny. Okay, next. Hey, we got a little child. Guess what? You're gonna die. Now we have a lot of these graves. Oh, yeah, someone died here. It's fine, we still have the happy music. It's happy times. People die, it happens all the time. Don't worry about it. Jonas. There's actually a character named Jonas. By the way, if you have some cool names that you want to suggest, I still want to add Audrey from earlier. I'm gonna do that next. I think I didn't do that yet, right? If you have something that you want to add. Let me know. Gender neutral names preferred. Oh, yeah, totally messed up. What do you mean totally messed up? A few people died of hunger, that's normal. Happens all the time. Armaxton would be a cool name. Do you want Armaxton to be in there? If you're not afraid that people will let you die, then I can add in the name, sure. There was Audrey as well. You want to be in there? Alright, alright, alright. Max Tom. Here you go. You're in our game now. Yes, there is Koza as well. Okay, yeah, since we still had a happy grave that was inappropriately sized and like prototype artwork, let's just make a version with that in mind. So here, this is our grave. we're just gonna copy everything. And then make different artwork on the gravestone. So, duplicate those. Put it over here. Now I want to have, as Jonas suggested, a person holding a Gobafruit. I'm gonna make it so that the person is holding it above their head. So here we go. Person. This needs to be replaced. Let's do it so that I can just do like color picking. I'm just gonna get this over here. I'm gonna start with a color like this. This is way too tiny. Block out the shapes first. There still needs to be some space for the fruit. Maybe I'll just make it so that the person is a bit further down. A little smaller perhaps. This. Now technically to account for perspective, the head should be moved over a little. Because this gravestone is viewed slightly from the side. Make the elbows a little bit like this. Okay. And then make it a little simpler here, simplify the shapes. And then this doesn't need to go that far down, so reduce that a little. And then just do the legs. Maybe a little further over to the side here. And then up here we're gonna put a Gobafruit. Just one of these guys. Okay. Now all I need to do is just start lighting and shading it. I'm gonna go for a shading pass first. Yeah, that looks alright to me. And then maybe these people were a little bit more able to afford some more because they had Gobafruit riches. So I'm gonna see if I can make a little bit of an overlay layer here to make some gold ornaments. Maybe some bronze for the Gobafruit. Very nice and shiny. Just kind of to show like these people could afford it. And on top of that, might as well do the same one for the name plaque. Overlay. Right. That's that. I think that is a pretty nice difference. Now, of course, there is still the flower bouquet. Maybe we can put a little more flowers here, sort of as a reward for getting them through their life. You get more flowers. I don't know what this weird plant is. It's some kind of flower, okay? And in between we're gonna have some more greenery. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. And then we're gonna add a few yellow spots to these as well. In front. And then maybe little bit of shading. Just a purple layer again. And a very low opacity this time. Alright, I think that looks very nice. Maybe a few more highlights on the body. I just noticed that that's still pretty dark. So I'm just gonna go in there and need more opacity. Maybe not that much. Okay, cool. Now we just need to make a version of this that is broken like this. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the person from this and try to fit it onto this and break it. Exactly goes here. And maybe this person doesn't break. Maybe they took a little bit better care of it, or it's just higher quality materials because they were richer. Due to having the food. Just a little bit of that, and then here for the name, black, new overlay layer. So it's still there, but it's a bit faded. And with that, we have the positive gray variation. Yeah, this, I'm gonna copy this over here. Just duplicate layers. And then get this in here. there's a little bit of flower sticking out further than on the other one. So unfortunately I'm going to need to change the canvas size here. Let's see. Hope that's gonna be enough. Oh yeah, that's more than enough. Trim. Okay. We can already save that. It's fine if these graves have a slightly different aspect ratio than the others, because you're not just going to replace one grave with the other. Though there will be a replacement with the grave crumbles. Oh well. It's just going to move a slight bit. I think the players are not going to notice. Okay, so this is like grave happy 01. Alright, next step is removing the flowers. So let's remove the flowers. This. These are all flower pieces. And maybe they have theirs still kind of like a little bit more upkept. There's a small detail. I need to go from here to here. Duplicate that. Reduce it down. Get it out of the layer masks, please. Okay. And then get it in here. Okay, that's exact, and save it. Grave happy 02. All right. And then finally this one again. This is going to be a little annoying because I have this issue here down at the dirt, but maybe I can just blend it over with the other one. I'll try that. So let's just drag this in here. Let's just not have this part. Okay, that's gonna be that. And that's grave happy 3. the happy graves in here. You can actually multi-edit this. Custom. There we go. Alright. Cool. That's going to add quite something to it. Let's get those in and get the name tag made as a prefab afterwards. So here we go for prefabs. Grave. And we just need to drag these in there. 1, 2, 3. And the crumbles, of course. So that's that. However, we wanted to change something about the name tag. So let's go to the person. And get this whole canvas made into person canvas. Right, and then we're gonna make a prefab variant of that. Prefab variant, and that's going to be a grave canvas. Oh, dang it. No. Grave canvas. Grave canvas. Okay, so we go to the grave and we just put the grave canvas in there. Alright, this canvas can just go away. And we'll need to replace that stuff in a moment. I think this is a reasonable positioning. And then maybe we can change the color of the name font. To like the gravestone color. Maybe a darker part of the gravestone. Kind of like this. And then finally, yeah, so the speech bubble I might also still do, but for now let's leave that out, and the name tag I need to drag in here. Yeah, okay, that's that. And let's play again. This was really the graveyard stream. Oh yeah. Music. Okay. Here we are, let's see. We want some people dying of old age, so let's get this to all the old people. And let's feed no one else, so some people might also die of hunger. Definitely some people dying of hunger here. Okay, no one dying of old age though. Very unfortunate. Okay, but Bobbin, come on. Can you give us a death next time? Okay, maybe I should not let everyone die here, so. Okay, yeah, see, now we have this grave here. They don't have flowers anymore. Bob's also still there. They're gonna be fine. Oh yeah, look at that. So Jinna died and Marin died, and we have these graves crumbling down. And then we're gonna give something to Bobble and Sam here. Really resistant, they don't want to make children. Come on. And yeah, you see these also crumble slowly. Oh yeah, Gob also died now, because I was just never feeding Gob. Bobble and Sam, they got a child now, Wallace. And another child just named after Bobble again. Okay, at this point I will be able to feed everyone all the time. I did let quite some people die. Okay, now we have quite a few people here. Bobble is getting old too. Not that Bobble, this Bobble. Trondarine, okay. Wallace, you'll live. Okay, so old Bobble died. Young Bobble's still here. Great. Trondarine can probably make it. Oh, now it's getting a little bit tense here because I don't have so many fruit anymore. But I'm 70, so I can feed everyone anyway. It's fine. It's fine. Since I was still able to feed everyone, maybe that should be scaled down a little bit. Okay. And it says I'm a good farmer, even though I let so many people die on purpose. Because I also guided people into old age with my Gobafruit. And 6 people are alive as well. Built up quite a village again. The next generation is going to have to deal with not having enough Gobafruit for them in the next 5 years. Okay, well, that worked. That works out just fine. So yeah, oddly enough, the graves are the thing that brings a little bit more color in it now. I feel like when you have a scene like this, where there's some of these graves in there with some greenery and some pinks and so on, they give it a little bit more color. The way the numbers are shown on the graves are with brackets and on the persons with a comma, so I didn't like the brackets so much in this font that I chose. So I suppose I'll just change that. Must be in the grave script somewhere. But where? Ah, here it is. Yeah, I'll just remove this. Nope. No, this is what I need to keep. I need to put comma, space, and then the H, and remove this so that it's consistent. And also this name here, it's bigger. It's okay if it's a little bigger, but it's too big. If we're gonna do this speech bubble, later, that's supposed to show you like the name of the person again on the gravestone, kind of, so you can see this was whoever, and then some like when they died or so. But yeah, then it's gonna be, I guess it's gonna be like this, so that it points at the plate here. That's what it's supposed to visualize. And it's not going to be there with the name at the same time. This is only for the stages when you can still see the grave, but you yeah, you don't know who it is and you want to know who it is. Alright. Scale down the name tag a little bit. I'm going to just choose a smaller font. 2. That's gonna be just fine. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna have Tilden and River and Isa fed. And leave everyone. Oh, yeah. And we got one person to die of hunger, and these just died of old age. But that happens, you know. Yeah. Alright. Now the names also look a little better. Yeah. So that's great. We advance. None of the fruit replicated again. Now I'm actually in trouble. Why do I not get the Doom music now? Because now I have not enough fruit to feed everyone. I'm not sure what's going wrong with the math there. Right, like this is, I'm just going to lose. I'm only at half time now. Yeah, now I'm getting the Doom music. And it didn't even replicate. Unfortunate. Well, I cannot feed you. I just can't. Yeah, people die. It happens. Still can't feed you. Good luck. Well, they survived, but my fruits still didn't replicate. That's a bit... They don't do that often enough when you have a low amount. I just can't feed people. Could be better, I agree. Yep, I just have like 1 point. Kinda messed up at the end, but yeah, okay. I am going to check out how the thing for the moods works. That's in the game manager. Let's see here. Moods. It's gotta have overlays somewhere. Overlay Glory and Doom, yeah. Okay, so yeah, set active, but based on what? Current mood. The tense mood is what I'm interested in. All fruit count. Is smaller or equal to all persons count times doom to people ratio. So if you have fewer people than if you have fewer fruit than people and then some, or the same amount of fruits. But I felt like the one time I had the same amount of fruits and I wasn't getting the tense music yet. Interesting. No, it's 1 by default, but I bet Jonas changed it. Oh, okay. So, no, it's actually not changed. It doesn't seem so consistent to me. If all fruit count is smaller or equal to... Yep, not sure why that's that way. Overlay on glory. Okay. If mood is 1. Right, so they're like separate. This is just for the music and this is just for the overlays. Okay. Right. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so you can have the sad music and the happy overlays. All right. Cool, fine. Yeah, should actually work normally. I'm not sure why it was a little bit weird sometimes. But anyway, I'm nitpicking. What I should rather change is the UI here. Like I should change the text font down here that shows your age. I should add like a completion bar, kind of. And here this button needs to have a proper graphic. And then I also want the transition font to be different. Let's do that first. Because that's low-hanging Gobafruit. Yeah, so there's end results and stuff, but where's the... okay, so this is the text. That's the full end results, and this is the text that only comes up as tutorial hints, but there's nothing in there right now. Alright, just wrote some nonsense so that I can see what it should look like. Here, this is the text. And I want a different font. I'm going to use this font consistently for all of these. Let's see. I mean, this one could be fine. No, that's a little hard to read. I want one of those slab serif ones. This one would be fine. That looks kind of nice and playful. I like that. This one is also fine. I can also just use this since I've been using it for the name tags. So maybe it's good to have some font consistency there. This one. And that's just the regular version. This is bold. But I kind of like those slab serif fonts as well. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. This one is my favorite, I think. This is too thick. Well, the thing is, this has a lot of different thickness variations, but maybe I just need this one. I don't really have to change it, I think. Okay. And the end results, I want to do the same treatment to, basically. Let's see. Yeah, let's see here. That was the font that I chose. But I could also choose something like this, so that I can have like maybe a regular up here. And then others here. For the total would be that one, old one. Could also have this, but I think here I could have like a medium and then or semi-bold. Right. I think actually this would be fine, and then a total. For the total, I want to have that bold, because that's your actual score that you get. That's the thing that matters most. Oh, okay, this is kind of its own thing. The 16 points here. I'm just gonna give that the same thing. Right, and then the verdict. That could be this fat one. But it's a bit hard to read. And these are texts. I think I'll just give it this again. And do I maybe color these? What if I did? That could make it look quite a bit nicer. So, coloring of total. Maybe that could be like this, and then the other ones could be this kind of blue. Like this. Those are kind of some colors that I've used throughout the thing. And maybe the top text here, not this. I'm not looking at the right thing here. Maybe that could just be a little bit less bright. Because it's just a little less important. Now that I look at it for a bit, I think these texts should be a bit of a brighter tone, so that you can read them a little better. What if these had like a... That's kind of like finishing the whole thing. Have an underline. And then you get a decent result. Something about this doesn't feel quite centered. Is this centered? I mean, the text is centered, but the X position is not in the center. Wait, now it feels even more off balance. Okay, then I'm assuming that this is not centered. And truly it is not. But it still doesn't feel like it's central with the verdict. Interesting. Verdict seems like it's just a little bit more over to this side. For that, maybe I would need to know. I mean, I guess I can just eyeball it. Eyeballing it would make me feel like that's roughly the center. Right, yeah, this is pointing right into the middle, maybe a little over here. And I think the top text actually, this here was actually fine, so I'm just going to move it to this again. Okay. Yeah, that feels a bit more centered now. I could still add some art to this screen as well. But what would it be? Maybe just a person here? But you have to be a bit careful. Maybe a Gobafruit. I can add a Gobafruit. So what do? Image, create UI image. Goba decoration. Right, and then I Goba harvested that one. And then I make it big. Not too big, I don't know. Like the thing is, of course, if I do this, it's getting like all mushy, and that's not so good. Doesn't necessarily need to be this big either. Maybe I can just have one that is harvested like that and one that is a plant. Not on plant, but the actual plant. What if I... actually, that's an interesting idea. What if I had like the field behind this? But then that's alpha. And oh, what's happening now? Hey. Why can't I select things? Okay. I was wondering if maybe a few of these that could look decent. They're all called Goba decoration. Let's call this field. and call the, wait, no, this one is actually Gobert operation. No, wait, that's a field. Why is it out of order like this? Here. This is Gobert operation. Cool. Okay. And then maybe I can take one of those overlays. They're not called overlays, there's like vignette and so on. With a 0 position and then give it maybe the other vignette is better. Whoa, okay, I didn't expect it to be this. Huh? The alpha doesn't work for some reason. Okay, never mind then. I just choose none. This additive somehow doesn't work. Fine, fine. I think that's because it's like an overlay canvas. I don't like those. Whatever. Maybe we can have round. I can put that in the very back and make it way less intense. And this is all just so it's not completely black and has something to it. It's not the prettiest end screen, but I think it's alright. Goba plant, I can also have one here. And maybe have it facing the other direction. Like that. Okay. Oh, I just realized that a decent result is not always going to be as short as this. So let's give it some space here. The verdict. Make this a little bit shorter. Alright, it gets a little bit small. Let's turn off the auto size and make it like this. We reduce the line spacing a little. Okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's a little better, I would say, though. Okay, so that's that. We have this text here still. And here, indeed, I would like to have some kind of bar that fills up the older you get. So we're gonna do that. But first, I'm just going to use the same font as I used for the names, so that, like, this also shows the age and this shows your age. It's a little bit of consistency, I suppose. Should I move this down a little, maybe? Maybe like this. And do I want to use this color as well? What if I used the regular version that has the... Yeah, that's okay. But I think this is better, but the color doesn't quite do it for me. What if it's like Gobafruit colored? No, it doesn't read at all. Red, no. I mean, white is a bit more readable. I think it needs some kind of outline. Or maybe the progress bar, it's just on top of the progress bar. That's something I could try. So let's make a progress bar. Gonna go UI, slider. age progress, right? And then this age progress. Come on, I didn't. Well, that's unfortunate. So I'm just gonna apply it all here. Apply all. And go into the prefab then, sure. Age process. I didn't want this to be a child of the text. And now, of course, this looks atrocious. Let's change that. I need some different colors, that's for sure. I don't want it to be navigated. No navigation. And I don't want it to be interactable at all. I don't want a handle. Just don't need it. This whole thing, oops. This whole thing I don't need. And then graphic fill rate. Yeah, I suppose I just need different sprites here. For now I'll just say none. Background, fill area and fill. This has to be none as well. And then I'll make this this one, this is filled. I'm gonna make that like blue or something. I'll figure it out. And then the background, I wanted to make that dark color, maybe a dark purple. And then let's scale that whole thing up. Okay, yeah, obviously we need a better sprite for this, but it's a start. Let's make a sprite. And that'll be the last thing of the stream. I know not a lot of people are watching anymore. To those who are still watching, thanks. I mean, I probably am at a point where I can't read the chat anymore again, because for some reason with YouTube that stops working at some point. It just stops working for me. So sorry if I haven't been reading your messages. I just can't see them. I don't know what I can do about that. Okay. What if it's like this? trying to figure out how I can make it look a little bit more like maybe with reduced flow instead. Yes, that's what does it, but a little sharper, please. Reduce the flow more. It's actually a bit small now that I look at it. Should be more like this. I think that's more like the scale. Maybe I can just sharpen it a little bit and get away with that. I think that's going to be fine. Remove these excess edges, because it is still a progress bar. And then we're gonna copy that and paste it into this new file and save it. Progress blob. And Armaxton just sent me this Yan edit on Discord and said he didn't get enough Gobafruit. That's funny. Alright. I wanted to still get this UI sprite in from here. Hey. Okay. There we are, and the fill and background both should use this sprite. Progress blob. And then what does this look like right now? Yeah, okay, it's kind of filling up like this. That's not how I would want it. The fill needs to be filled. It's set to radial right now. That's of course not correct. Filled but horizontal. Yeah. That's what I want. And just mirror is a little bit offset. Wait, it's just smaller. Okay. Why doesn't it fill up the whole area? Okay, let's just scale this. Right, and then it's just going to look like this. Maybe it can be a little larger overall. And just a bit wider, a bit towards the bottom. And then now the text. I could use any color from this. That looks not good. No. I just felt like maybe it shouldn't just be white. Maybe this is a little bit more friendly. The fill. We have a somewhat juicier color as well, and then the background. Maybe also get a little bit more saturation. I'm okay with that. Let's just... what if the background was a little less intense, more like this? And then the fill could also not be full with the alpha. You should still see it, but yeah, that's more like it. And then I can finally write a script to actually make this work. So for that, I'm gonna go into the game manager. Before that, the max value is 70, right? And there's an age value in the... yeah, here there's update age. That's here. And I need a UI slider. Just gonna go in here and say serialized field slider. And I know that shouldn't be in the music, it should be... I'm just gonna put it here. Slider. I'm gonna call it age progress bar. And then let's say age progress bar dot value equals age. Yep, that should do it. At least I hope so. And then all that remains from the ugly UI is just this button down here that I really need to change. But okay, this is nicer. Let's just make sure it actually works. And then I quit the stream for tonight. Okay, so we have this. And we just advance next. Oh, there's an iref. Okay, yeah, I didn't hook it up. I made several mistakes. I already noticed that you shouldn't start at 0, but you should start at 20. And then, of course, it needs to be hooked up here. Okay, Now again. Yeah, I know. Tragedy strikes, lots of people die. Who cares? Oh no, everybody's dead. How could this happen? Whatever, here. Just wanna get to decent age here. I hope Koza here can survive for a few more turns. Yeah, I let everyone die and now I'm just hanging out with old Koza here. And all my Gobafruit. Everybody's dead. Oh no, Koza, why did you die on me? Alright, well. But it worked, it's fine. Yeah, just need to replace that button down there, but I'll do that off stream. Alright, everybody, have a good night. I'm ending the stream. Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed it.